If I asked you which one of these weapons is going to do more damage, what would you say? Bearing in mind, Giants Crusher here can do stuff like this. You're probably gonna say Giants Crusher, aren't you? Well, you would be right. However, this little ditty here is almost as powerful. Is a pure strength S scaling weapon, just like Giants Crusher, but obviously it's a one-handed axe, which means it's insanely faster. Like, double the speed. It takes Giant Crusher 8 seconds to perform 4 attacks, and it takes this little axe just 4 seconds. And when the damage is this close, obviously that attack speed gives it the edge. And that's not even to mention, we of course can power stance 2 one-handed axes a lot more effectively than 2 bloody colossal weapons that by themselves are like 50 weight. And the double colossal hammer moveset is really kind of bad. It's one note, it's predictable, it's slow, there's no variety, there's nothing really going for it other than big damage. Whereas power stancing axes actually a really solid moveset. I honestly don't know why I've not seen anyone talk about this weapon. I didn't even know it existed until like a couple days ago when it randomly dropped for me. As it turns out, it's a very rare drop, which probably explains it, but I had a little search of videos, like search on Reddit and stuff, but there's very little actual discussion on it, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me because essentially you have the power of colossal strength Giants Crusher, which by the way is the highest damage in terms of the pure physical damage it hits without you building for it in the game, but in this small fast package that outpaces it. I can hit this giant for nearly 4,000 damage with the heavy attack of a small one-handed weapon. That's absolutely brilliant. I really, really love this thing, and of course you've got the entire range of Ashes of War that you could put on a one-handed axe, which is, you know, massive choice. I've gone for in demonstrations today a bit of Golden Vow on the left hand to give that damage buff, because I don't have the faith with this level 125 build and 80 strength to get Golden Vow purely, which is slightly better than the Ash of War, and then on the right hand the Royal Knight's Resolve, just to really give that oomph to heavy attacks. And hey, talking of heavy attacks, this axe just isn't a incredibly rare pure S scaling stat weapon, it has a unique heavy attack. A initial slam down, but then a little scrape across the ground, a back up and a back down. This comes with massive stagger damage, which is really impressive for again a otherwise quite small weapon, and you can output huge amounts of damage quickly. This isn't about telling you a build or anything, I simply want to spread the word on this incredible amount of power packed in such a little package. More people should totally be giving this a go. Power stancing axes is really neat, and the sheer just pure output these things can do is incredibly respectable. You just absolutely tear through everything. And I'm sure if you went a little bit more crazy with the Ashes of War, then you could do something really fun here. Obviously, like the Giants Crusher, you need to set it to heavy to get that pure S scaling, but of course there is nothing wrong with doing that. So yeah, this pure damage, coupled with the speed, coupled with the unique charge attack that lets us take advantage of something like the charged attack damage for more 15%, lets us take advantage of the charged attack wondrous physic for another 20%, lets us Royal Knight's Resolve on top of it to really open up a enemy and start the fight with them already mostly dead. You really shouldn't be nearly one-shotting bosses with just a single heavy charged attack on a one-handed weapon. Does that not feel... That's weird. It feels almost dirty, right? That's a disgusting amount of damage coming out of something that you can swing around so quickly. It's just brilliant. So if you want a more strength-focused playstyle, but want it to be more speed, more power stancey, more, you know, less big, slow crush, this is the way. These things sit at nearly 700 AR per hand, without you doing any buffs. And to put that in perspective, that's almost like greatsword levels. A goodish greatsword sits at about 800. but that's, you know, a full-on greatsword, a massive weapon with a much slower moveset. So that just really tells you how it is. After all the buffing goes off, they start approaching like 900 each, which is again absolute lunacy. So after all this, you're probably wondering, okay, alright, okay, where the hell do you get it? Well, the answer is actually fairly simple. It is dropped by the omens that wield it. The best and easiest place to farm this, at least that I found, was the roadside Grace in Lanedale Sewer. There is an axe wielder right outside, and there is a second one just down the way. So you can kill them both, reset, kill them both, reset, kill them both, reset, over and over, and eventually you will get around the 4% drop rate and make it happen for you. Obviously, you want to use your silver scarab, you want to use your silver foot. Make sure you don't teleport to the Grace, otherwise it cancels any item discovery buffs, though I don't know why you would teleport in such a small area, but eventually you will get it to drop. And another real unique pro that this thing has going for it is that obviously you can only get one Giants Crusher in a playthrough. Without someone else dropping you a second or another new game, you can't even do the big double damage power stance massive weight, which again requires you to be much higher level than using these guys. You basically have to treat them like almost as powerful mini Giants Crushers, and that comes with a whole host and world of advantages. And because, yeah, it's a farmable drop, you can easily get two of them in the same playthrough. Everything that I've used them against has just kind of fallen so easily before me, and I'm not really one for this kind of setup or these kind of weapons. They're just kind of fine. I don't generally find strength playstyles that fun. Of course, I am always sorcery for life, but these ones really do it for me. And in PvP, of course, I mean, you're just there with quite quick, massively damaging weapons, which make you into a trained machine. People really underestimate just how much damage is actually going to come out of what looks to be a little bit of a harmless, light power stancey build. So yeah, basically, that's kind of that. If you fancy something a little bit different on the strength side of things, try the Warped Axe. Mini Giants Crushers a ridiculous amount of damage for a small, fast, wood-handed weapon, a pure S Scaler, a rare drop, and certainly worth your time to both use and experiment with. I hope you found this intriguing, exciting, and you want to go get a pair of your own. But for now, like you've enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Don't miss any future Elden Ring tips, tricks, builds, guides, funny bits, all of that good stuff. Until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.